blazing trails, you know how Johnny moves. Young black mamba dropping the hottest news, like some mad attorney calling audibles. When it's mindset, I don't know how I'ma lose. Keep it 100, we from the 90s, dude. Freshest podcast out, we on the grind for you. Stuck in your head all day, Gorilla Glue. They think they really gon' out me, pull up with the big tech, call it Silicon Valley. Made it through a dark winter, it was getting so cloudy. Now we got the sickest show in the whole county. It's a cold world, better bundle up. Gotta get the shovel when the truck is stuck in the middle of a blizzard, still coming up. Tuning in just so I know what is up. It's the Cloud Chronicles.
What up, world? We are back. We are live. This is the Cloud Chronicles. I'm your host, Ja Blaze, aka Jerry and Ja Blaze. You know what it is, man. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook. You know, we always appreciate the stars and everything. So, hey, got another classic episode coming to you today, man. I got a first timer on the show. He's been a music video producer for over 13 years. He's got his own media company. We're going to jump into all the doings of that and everything. But yeah, man, it's going to be a great episode today. So y'all stay tuned. We are bringing in Jose Najar on the show right now. I'm going to pop him in. Here we go. Bam, 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 bam. What it do?
What's up? What's up, Ja? How you doing, brother? Thank you for having me on the podcast, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you joining me, man. Got a big shout out to Katie Trop for hooking it up. If y'all see the last episode, we had Katie on here. This guy, he's done some work with Katie as well. So yeah, man, just introduce yourself real quick, man. Tell them what you do.
Yeah, like you mentioned, man, Jose Najar, CVO of Najar Media production company, which we do all kinds of work. But for the past 13 years, man, we focused on producing high quality content, music videos for all types of artists here in the Central Texas area.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. So tell me, man, how's the music game out there, like, you know, in Central Texas? Because, you know, I'm over here, DFW area,
yeah,
in Texas. So
yeah. I mean, you know, the culture here in Austin has turned into kind of like a gumbo when it comes to like the hip hop era, or the hip hop scene. Just because, you know, I mean, let's just be honest, man. The rap game now is pop. You know what I mean? And so I think Austin has you know developed along with that sound. Nothing wrong with it. I appreciate all forms of music. But you know, when I got in the game, we were still in that DJ Screw. You know what I mean? Like Austin was still like very H-Town like with the sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't until like maybe 2010, 2012 when I really got into the game, musically speaking. That's when it kind of started changing, man. And I feel like those were the early stages of Austin's identity when it comes to music, and that kind of went away, and it's gravitated into what it is now. Now, don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of like great artists in the city, a lot of artists like making noise, but they all gravitate to that like trappish type of popish sound that's so popular nowadays. So
right.
So yeah.
That's what's up, man. So how did your company start, man? What made you want to get into it?
I mean, I can kind of just hit my little resume, I guess, really quick. When I was 13, man, I kind of got into, you know, theater slash film classes, because I've always gravitated towards looking at the shot angles and things like that in the movie. I mean, you seem to be about my age, brother. We grew up with it, making the video on MTV. Like, brother, I was deep in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my thing. I wanted to see how they made the video. Right. I remember watching like the making of like one of these pop groups, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, whatever it is. I used to watch how they make their videos, man, and I was just like, man, that's cool. All this effort that it takes just for like 3 minutes worth of time. And I was like, man, you know, I loved movies at the time as well, but for me, like, it was the quick delivery that I felt was challenging. It was the being able to tell a whole story within a 3 to 5 minute gap. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's what I kind of gravitated towards. I learned about film, theater. I was in theater technology, which we learned how to stage things and how to, you know, help actors like develop and things like that. And I kind of did all that all the way through junior high and high school. And it wasn't until high school where I was able to participate. And this was maybe the year 2002, where I was able to participate in making the first ever for our school district a DVD yearbook. So basically, we would go around the school filming all kinds of events, interviewing people, and then instead of a book, we'd give it to them in a DVD. We were still in that era.
Nice.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because of that class, I was able to create highlight reels for sports, highlight reels for like just the year of the scholastic year in general. And I think that's what kind of got me itching for like a quick delivery with a very high response, energetically speaking. um and then after that, I attended broadcasting school, and then after that, I joined. I linked up with who later became my boss, and we were into. We created a production company where I was a chief editor, so I did a bunch of editing and stuff for the show, and this was all broadcast stuff, like entertainment stuff. And then around that time, we started producing several music videos for local artists in Austin, and that kind of got me, itching for more. Soon after the that company went bankrupt, so I started my own thing. Bought my first Nikon. What was it? A 3100, I think. And yeah, man, the rest is history. I reached out to people I went to school with that I knew were doing the music, and I was like, hey, man, y'all need a music video? And they're like, yeah, man. So we started doing that, and from there, things just kind of took off, man.
So tell me like about the talk about like the change from as far as when you first started
Uh-huh.
to now. Is it because I know what I've noticed as a hip hop fan too is the songs, man, are like a minute and a half. I've noticed that, and I'm cool. Like I'm like, well, damn, I wish I would have knew that when I was trying to rap. 'Cause
Yeah,
I had a
yeah,
minute and a half for you all
yeah,
day.
yeah,
I
yeah.
could have, man, I could have had a whole 3, 4, 5 mixtapes of 2 minute joints. And that's all y'all. That's all it took.
Right. Yeah,
So
man.
and the songs will be bumping too.
Yeah,
Like dude, he or she, they spitting, the beat goes hard, and it's a minute and a half. I'm like, you gotta listen to it 3 times to get do you know what I'm saying? Get your feel for it.
for sure. Well, the music industry, in my opinion, has had to keep up with social media,
Mhm.
the structure of social media.
Right.
So people want 30 to, here in a couple of years, they're gonna be 30 doing 30-second songs, brother.
Real. I
You know what I
believe it,
mean?
bro.
So the music video game has changed along with it.
Hmm.
One thing that helped me stand out as a director in the city was that people always came to me because I told stories. I didn't just tell the rapper, hey, stand right there and I'm gonna shoot you. I mean, that did happen, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
I gravitated mostly towards the artists that were willing to tell a story through their visuals. And that takes time, and that takes patience, and that takes creativity overall. So with the implementation of like short form content, along with music is in there now, it's challenging. And I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's definitely challenging to tell a solid story in 90 seconds. You know what I mean? So it forces the creator, whether it's music or whether it's in the visual aspect of things, it forces us to kind of be on our toes all the time, because
Hmm.
you kind of never know what the next project is, how it's going to come about, and then how you're going to compact it in such a short form.
Hmm.
Thank God I still rock with a lot of artists that don't necessarily follow that, and they're still doing 3.5 minute songs, and I appreciate. But I can also adjust to doing short form content.
Right.
So the visuals get a little simpler, from my perspective. They get us a little simpler. It's just performance now. That's why people are so quick to do a mic drop. And I mean, even some artists are like, let me do a mic drop, but I'm gonna do several scenes, and I'm like, that's not a mic drop. That's a music video now. You know what I mean? Like a mic drop is, in my opinion, a mic drop is one location with a mic. Yeah, listen, we can do different angles, but once you change the set, I think that eliminates the mic drop,
Mhm.
name. So yeah, it has changed, man. Again, not a bad thing. It forces everyone to be more creative, and I love it.
Yeah. 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 I just that was just one of the one things I definitely I had pinned to ask you about was like time, but I think like you said, it's social media. Like we're in that
Yeah,
you got to get someone's attention in the first 3 seconds, or that thumb is scrolling up. you know,
Facts.
so that makes sense. And then also too, if you're going to give away your music, you know, as far as like mixtape form,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Minute and a half, 2 minutes is, you know, like this should make you want to go buy the album or the LP or whatever, you know, they actually
Yeah.
put out. But so I get that. I'm like, well, that makes more sense, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely has changed up, man. So do you have like a what's your process with shooting the video? Like, I mean, I'm sure you collab with the artist,
Mhm.
but after you, let's say like after the artist has said, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm envisioning right now. Um do you give feedback as far as like, well, you know, this might look, let's do this, you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, let's do this, but we're gonna do it like this. How does that work?
Yeah, yeah. So I always sit down or I get on on the phone with an artist,
Mhm.
specifically if it's our first time working. I like to meet in person if we haven't never worked. So I fill them out and see what they're asking for.
Right.
The most important thing of a video is a budget, bro. Like
True.
number one priority is us producers got to get paid for our time. Number two is like your location. Where are you trying to shoot this? How many locations are you trying to shoot? Do you have a budget for that? Because I have sat in many meetings where an artist is like, man, I want to pull up in a Rolls Royce, and then I want everybody be greeting me as I get out the car, and then I want to be in a mink suit, and I'm like,
Right.
what's the budget looking like? They're like, oh, 350, and I'm like, good luck. That may not work. So let's simplify it for ourselves. Yeah, we can get a car. It may not be a Rolls, but we can get a car.
Unless you
Yeah,
know somebody with a
yeah,
rose, they can bring
exactly, exactly.
it.
With with the up um with the implementation of like Airbnb and Turo, like man, those type of services make it a lot easier now to be able to pull those things off. When I first started, bro, these things didn't exist, man.
Right,
So
right.
it's kind of like relying on the artist's homeboy to pull up
Yeah.
3 hours late to the shoot to use his Cadillac or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
So the process after deciding what it is that we're going to do, what's realistic, I like to sit down and get my storyboard sheet and then just kind of draw in specific times where they imagine certain things happening as they visualize their music video. That way I know that at 30 seconds, the mic is dropping at 1
Right,
minute. The females, she's modeling for the camera. at
right,
at at a minute and a half, there needs to be a performance scene with him holding his two dogs or whatever may be the case. So I really like to try to sketch it out. Like I can't draw very well, but I do stick figures and I can place things where they need to be, so visually we know what we're looking at. And I think that pre-production is very important. I think that's what you're asking about, because
mhm,
it eliminates time and it kind of narrows down to the amount of, number one, locations, extras, and just props in general that we may need. So it's very important to get that knocked out before the actual shoot. When the budget allows, I love to go scouting for locations, specifically if it's multiple ones, so that way we know what we're getting into, and if it's going to work at all. The thing that I've ran into in issues like in the past is like, they want to do a shot on Mount Badell, which is a very popular place out here in Austin. They want to do a shot on Mount Badell as the sun is setting, but they ain't trying to shoot the video till a month or two out. And I'm like, by then the sun is not setting at the same time, so we
right,
got to go out there around the time that we're going to shoot to make sure that that's what we want. That's the time frame that we need to be there. And it's funny when people are like, oh, it's going to be super easy, I'm just going to go up there. And it's like, it's easy for you to go up there super quickly, but it's me and my team, our crew. Like we got to get all our gear up there. So it's
right,
not easy. It's not easy, man. It's what may take what may be a 1 minute take, man. We might be there for 2 to 3 hours just trying to set up for it, depending on what's asked for. So
mhm,
for those reasons, I love to kind of scout and decide what it is that we're going to do and how much time it's going to take overall. Because when I hire or contract help, like I got to pay them out of the budget if I need it. You know what I mean? So that's
yeah.
important.
So what was the first video that you shot, man, when you first started?
First video, man.
Yeah, you were like, you got your camera and everything. Who was like, first artist? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so independently,
Yeah.
I shot with I believe the first music video I did was Somebody grew up with, a homie by the name of Lil T. We went out, and of course, one of our other close friends was in the mix, and he brought his Challenger out there. That's when Challengers had just dropped. I'm talking about maybe 2012, 2013.
I still
Yeah.
want me a Challenger, all black, Batmobile.
They're nice, man, and
Man, for real. I'm
they're
not
dope.
even lying, bro. I still want me a
Yeah.
Challenger.
Yeah, homeboy had the 22s on there chromed out, and so like we used a music video. We shot several locations. So yeah, that was the video that kind of set it off for me, man, because it was my first realistic opportunity at a rap video. Before that, I was doing like indie rock groups that we would do the scouting, we would do all these things, and it would never follow through. We never got to the shooting part, and if we did get to the shooting part, it never got edited because I don't have any of that content anywhere. So yeah, man, and those are the learning stages of how to do business. Like you can't. I'm not gonna go out there with a camera unless I got a deposit. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of learning curves since then, and definitely the business has been one of the most important parts because I understand that sometimes artists do music videos out of passion. There's no ROI on that. But now it's changed, man. I think with the implementation of like YouTube monetizing on platforms, like
Right,
our
right.
artists you can, if you create that following, you create a buzz, like it's
Hmm.
feasible for you to get some money back, and
Yeah,
eventually probably pay
yeah,
off your video. It may take a while, but
right.
definitely do that. So yeah,
Hey man, hey, I've used merchandise. Hey, speaking of merchandise, you know what I'm saying? Get you built for this Cloud Chronicles t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? DM me for purchase. I'll shoot that link to you. We got
do your
hoodies,
thing.
we got running shirts, we got everything, man. Men's, women's, we got tights for the ladies. We got it all, man. Just DM me, man. Look out. But yeah,
Perfect.
man, you gotta like you gotta build that following, bro. And I've had a lot of support with it, man. A lot more than I thought I
Yeah.
would get initially. So it has definitely helped, recoup some of the money, I put into, my podcast and stuff. Like you say, you got equipment, uh StreamYard fees, just a little
Yeah.
bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? So
Y-
so
yeah.
let's I got a question. So let's say you got somebody, a newbie, or as they say in the gaming community, a noob, and he's like, bro, this is what I want to do. I want to, I want to do what you do. So what are you telling him?
You mean like picking up a camera?
Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
wants to
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
cameraman. Like he
Yeah.
wants to do exactly what you're doing, but
Yeah, I always allow people that want to learn to come on my set as long as they're respectful, bro, and they're
Mhm,
really seriously trying to do it. Like I always
mhm.
allow people to come on set if they want to help perfectly, man. But I actually it's funny you mentioned that because I wanted to touch on a point a couple years ago. I'm gonna say 2 years ago, I first took a leap and I started the Shooters Workshop. So down here in Austin, there is a soundstage called Trailer Park Studios, and so they have all kinds of sets. They have a psych wall, and so they have a lot of things for music artists and producers to collaborate and do some dope content, man. And
Mhm.
I decided to run a kind of like a beginner's course to how to shoot videos, music videos
Oh,
specifically.
okay.
And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, so I took the leap, man, and I did that. And man, Trailer Park was real dope. Like I booked like I think 4 hours, and then they supported me by printing shirts. So everybody that was part of the class got a shirt, and it's amazing, man, because I actually got a lot of support of the community. I think about 10 people showed up, and I didn't expect that many, and I was like, man, whoever shows up, perfect, because I it's a trial thing for me, and I
Right.
haven't gotten back to it, but plans are to turn this into kind of like a summer camp for kids. You know what I mean? I got to do my research, and I got to really make sure that I cross my T's and dot my I's, because these are children, underage kids that
Right.
are
Right.
going to be in my supervision. So
Right.
I have some plans for that, and I want to continue that. But that was the initial response that I got to that was really great and overwhelming, but in a good way. So basically, it was a 4 hour class that we did, and people, I think I charged like $125. It wasn't nothing crazy, and they got lunch, they got drinks, and then they also got to mess around in the studio with
Right.
models and artists just to kind of practice what they kind of learned. So I think the change that I would make is to make it like maybe obviously it'll be kind of like an expanded version of that. So maybe like 3 hours a day for I don't know 2 weeks. I don't know how long these kids are in summer school now. But ideally, I would start in the studio, then move around in the outside, outside locations, so they kind of have an experience of what it's like to shoot outdoors versus
Right.
indoors, control
Right.
lighting versus natural sun, and how to reflect and things like that. But um, I've always encouraged people to, go on people's set. Like I still go on their director's set and learn a thing or two, So this is a thing that, man, we just never stop learning, man. A lifelong learner, because things change, the technology changes, so we never stop learning. We got to keep up with the times, more importantly, as a music video director, you got to keep up with culture, and that's always changing. So for me, it's interesting to continue being in this industry and learn the new ways of the what is it, adjust to the new attention spans that are
Mhm.
existing nowadays, so um but yeah, my bad. I'm deviating from the original question, but
Oh no,
man,
you good, man. You
yeah,
good.
yeah,
This is what the people are here for,
yeah,
man. You dropping
cool.
knowledge, man. You dropping
Ha-
gems. You yeah, do your thing, bro. You good.
hands-on, man, is the way that you learn in this industry, bro. Like, having experience is going to teach you way more than sitting on YouTube and looking at videos all day and learning that way. This is a thing where you got to just do it, and you're going to make mistakes, but guess what? You can fix them. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
that's why you learn from shoot to shoot, music video to music video, artist to artist. You learn different things, and how to maybe manage your time better, how to manage your equipment better, how to manage a team better, so there's always growth, and there's different learning stages within that growth. So I'm here for it still, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Um, have you had tell me some of your favorite videos that you shot, and some of your like not to single people out, but some of your maybe
Yeah.
like favorite people that you've gotten to work with since you've
Okay.
been shooting.
Well, so years back, man, I was on a roll, man. I was shooting a lot of conjunto music videos, which is like, Spanish like bands with the tubas, with the accordions, with the guitars. So I was on a strict roll, man, just for maybe a whole year, man. I was just constantly getting, music videos, opportunities to be able to shoot those type of artists. And I love shooting those because it's so for me, it's so original, man. When it comes to, they're always going to have big trucks, they're always going to have horses dancing, they're going to have rooster fights, they're going to have a ranch in the back, and
Right. Right.
they're going to be partying, and it always allows for a good story to be told.
Mhm.
One of the artists that I was working with at the time, he had a story about how he was able to cross the Rio Grande to get to Texas. Him and his homies just swam over here illegally, of course, and we recreated that. You know what I mean? I had the actors get in the water, and I had them swim and pretend that they were in the desert, drinking,
Yeah.
running out of water, and then
Oh
eventually get
damn.
picked up in the middle of nowhere. And so
That's dope.
being yeah, they that type of music is very, very storytelling, and so that's what I mean. It allows for someone like me to kind of like really visualize and really sell to people's hearts that way, and that specific video shoot, man, it was crazy because the guy that allowed us to use his ranch, he was a homie, and he let us go out there and shoot. um he was his wife, I don't think it was the guy's son, but the his wife's son actually tried to cross the river like that, and he passed away in the middle of it. So when we reenacted the scene where, the boy who kind of, it's the same story that she went through, he kneels down in front of her and she gives him the blessing, and she just teared up, man. And I felt bad, but I didn't stop recording either. You
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
that's gold. That's
Yeah,
gold.
so like it was very, very organic, man. And so I found myself in a lot of situations during that time period shooting these type of videos where uh, it was real stories, man, being told, and it allowed me to kind of, reproduce all of those situations for these people, man. So that was interesting, man. That was an interesting period of time. It wasn't necessarily one specific artist, but several artists that, we worked for like a good solid year producing content for them. um another artist that I just love working with. You just interviewed her, man. Katie Trop, man.
Shout out, Katie.
Yeah. Shout out Katie Trop, Katie Trop, the crazy cracker, man. She's out there, bro. She's
Hey,
like,
hey, hey, no, no cap.
she's man. The thing I love about Katie Trotman is that, like you said, no cap, like we are always on the same page, bro. You know, she'll send me a track, and I'll be like, okay, cool. What are you feeling? And I already know what I'm feeling, and then it just so happens that we're thinking the same thing, close, you know. And so I love working with her because we're always on the same page, and our projects are just flawless, man. When it comes to shooting, when it comes to just getting the visual out. We've got a project that we just shot recently, which I'm trying something different. I'm
Mhm.
trying to. Um, I saw this idea being implemented by another artist, so I'm like, I showed it to Katie, and I was like, "Hey, you want to try this?" And she's like, "Let's do it." So y'all got to look out for that. That's a good video to soon drop from her. It's called Miss Subordinate, I think, Insubordinate, something like that. Um, so yeah, that Katie Trop is a very great artist that is very consistent. We're I think creeping up on like 30 music videos already.
Damn,
so
that's what's
so
up,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah, y'all putting in work for real.
we've been doing it, man. I think we've been working together for maybe about 6 7 years. So
Mhm.
within that time, we've been, able to keep hitting it, man. First started doing like two music videos a year, and now we're like every quarter she's hitting one. So I'm excited, man, about working with her, working with Black Man Records, her producer Lex. Like they're dope people, man, and I love the way that they're doing things, and they're just awesome, man. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Gotta try to get Lex on here next, man.
yeah, he's dope, man. He's got knowledge, man. And they got the business nailed
Right.
down. So that's what I appreciate. I always appreciate a group of people or an artist that has their business down because they know what they want. You know what I mean? And that tells me a lot about how the relationship is gonna go. Another solid group that I love to work with out here in Austin is College of Hip Hop Knowledge. And there's I don't know about 7 or 8 different artists in that group, and
Oh, they
Jason
got
and
like a Wu-Tang thing going.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like it. I like
yeah.
it.
They,
I like when
uh,
artists do that, man. That's kind of like a throwback to the 90s stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they can all still be individual artists, but
yeah,
they got a group.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And, and their sound varies as a group, man. Like they still do boom bap, but they also do a little trap sound. And there's all colors, man. You got Mexicans, you got black folks, you got white
That's the
folks in the
best
group.
way. Yeah.
So yeah, they're solid, man. I
That's
really
what's up.
enjoy working with them because they are about their business and they know about monetization and more importantly, man, they've done a whole lot for the hip hop community here in Austin, man. They're always throwing shows, never charging artists to get on shows. So they're really grassrooted, you know what I mean? Like they're really down to earth people that really genuinely want to see everybody win. And they're
Okay.
getting, they're getting their blessings, man. They're getting their opportunities to be able to, you know, um, what is it? You know, get what they deserve because their karma's coming back to them in a great way because they've always looked out for the city, and now like I think they've got opportunities to go overseas, man, and perform in like Europe, and I think Australia is another place that they're looking at visiting soon. So big kudos to them, man. College of Hip Hop Knowledge, Jason and Big Mike, man. They're the ones that operate that label, and they do it in a great way.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Before I let you go, man, I do want to ask you one more question. So have you been able to do any work with the what's that was it South by Southwest they do down there? Are you
Yeah,
involved with
yeah.
that in any way?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, College of Hip Hop Knowledge, they threw an official South by Southwest show
Mhm.
this past spring, and leading up to that show, we mobbed downtown, bro. We all went downtown, and they got me an artist badge, and I was getting into all the shows when I wasn't with them, and just having fun, man. And I kind of documented their entire experience through South by Southwest, leading up to their show on the final day of South by Southwest. So they had a show at Shangri La where they just had a bunch of artists from the city, man, come out and do, I think 15 20 minute sets. So
Yeah.
they do it right, man. And yeah, South by Southwest, I usually stay away from there, bro. But this year I was paid to do it, and I was like, let's do it, man. I really
Right.
enjoyed it, man. So for them, man, I'm always appreciative of them, and anytime they need my help, man, I'm always there for them, support them in any way.
That's what's up, man. All right, man. Look, I don't want to hold you too long. But you got any shout outs you want to give? Definitely tell the people where they can find you on social media. Let artists know where they can hit you up if they're trying to, collab and everything, man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. So yeah, shout out to like all the people that are just dreaming, man, and trying to make their dream a reality, just trying to hustle to make it happen, man. This music industry is not easy, man. And people that just do it to flex and to do their thing, like they're gonna run out of money real quick and they ain't gonna
Right.
make it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that literally goes into this if you're doing it for real. Whether you're doing music, whether you're doing visuals, whether you're producing, like everybody, man, we have the availability now to exercise our talents in a great way. We have all the resources that we need. We can do things now that we couldn't do 30 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's easier than it was before, but also like talent and it's always going to be the superb and it's going to stand out. And man, so just everybody that's out there just trying to do it, man, just never give up, man, because you never know what could happen. Your opportunities may come from where you least expect them. So I'm a testament to that in a way. But yeah, man, people can just search up my label, Najar Media, the brand, on anything, any platform. But specifically, my website is naharmedia.me. And if anybody's interested in any work, like you can kind of see what we do there. All social medias are linked to that, so you can always shoot me a private message on my website, and then
Mhm.
we get to talking and see what ideas are floating about.
That's what's up, man. Y'all hit him up, bro. Man, I'm trying to do me a little podcast intro music video, man. We want to talk about it.
Let's do it, man. I like your intro though. It's dope.
Yeah,
We
no,
can,
I want to use
yeah, yeah.
that. I want
Okay,
to use that. Like, shout out to my homeboy, man. Precise Difference, man. South Carolina. He's a recording artist, man. He did that for me uh about 4 years ago now, man. So
okay.
I mean, I love it. It's dope, man. It's an original song, about me and my show, so it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of
Yeah,
like a dream come true. So, and he put that video together. He did all that for me. So shout out to you, bro. But I'd like to do like a live thing too, man. I don't know if man I can get him down here, and you know what I'm saying. He's rapping while we're doing it. You know what I'm saying. And then we get the visuals and stuff. Like I do want to do something like that, man. I've always wanted to do like a music video of some sort.
yeah. I mean, it's overdue. It's been 4 years. Yeah, man. I see it.
Yeah, yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying. We'll talk about it though, man.
let's
Hey,
do it.
man, look, I appreciate everybody watching, man. I appreciate y'all dropping the likes. Make sure you follow my man here in the Higher Media. You know what I'm saying? Facebook. You on IG as well?
Yeah, yeah. Same thing. Now, how to media. Yep.
Okay.
Everything. Yep.
Yeah, man. Y'all hit
Yeah.
him up. Artists, check it out, man. Shout out to Freeway Rick, man. Shout out to Freeway Records, man. Cloud Chronicles, the official podcast for Freeway Records. Shout out to Galen Smith, man. Shout out to everybody, man. They had a big show. Comedian Jarrell Braswell, I believe that's his last name. Knocked it out, man. So shout out to you, man. So y'all check us out too, Freeway Records LLC.com. You can check out episodes of the show on there as well. At the end of the episode, man, I always like to say mental health is real. Take care of this. Take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's
Facts.
Men's Mental Health Month. So, you know what I'm saying? If you need to talk to somebody, reach out to somebody, man. Job
Let's do it.
Blaze. Jose Nahat. Nahat
Appreciate you,
Media,
Doc.
man. Cloud Chronicles, man. Freeway Records. We out of here. Peace.